What if you were never broken to begin with, and everything you've been trying to fix was the wrong target? What if I told you that the reason nothing has worked to make you feel good about yourself isn't because something is wrong with you? What if the therapy didn't fully work, the affirmations didn't stick, the courses made sense but nothing fundamentally shifted? Not because you didn't try hard enough or wanted enough, but because everything you've been trying has been aimed at the wrong target. As a health scientist and energy healer, I spent years trying to fix myself. I read all the books, followed all the advice, and genuinely did the work. I really tried. And for almost a decade, nothing shifted. Until one crucial insight changed everything for me. I was never broken. I was buried. And there is a profound difference between the two. If you're watching this, I know that you're not someone who gives up easily. You've read the books, probably more than a few, probably more than 10. You've highlighted passages and written in the margins and genuinely, sincerely tried. Maybe you have sat in therapy and done the work of going back, of looking at the hard things, of sitting with the memories, of trying to understand where this all began. You've said the affirmations, maybe in the mirror, maybe in a journal, maybe with real hope that this time, this one, would finally make it click. And perhaps something has shifted in small ways, in moments, but underneath it all, there is still this quiet, persistent sense that something is not quite right, that the feeling of low self-worth isn't fully gone, it's just resting, waiting to come back the moment something challenges it. If that's you, then this video is for you. Here is what I want to offer you today. Not another technique, not another affirmation. A different way of understanding the problem itself. You see, most self-worth tools, most personal development, most therapy, most mindset work are built on the same assumption. That your main problem is that you are someone who doesn't have any worth. That worth is something missing, or damaged, or not yet built inside you. And your job is to fix yourself by creating worth. So your job is to earn it by accumulating wealth, possessions, and status. To restore it by losing the weight, hiding your worthless true self, and being validated by the right people. And to prove it through hard work, achievements, and qualifications. And to claw it back after you were humiliated, made a mistake, or failed. Your whole life is controlled by the desire to create new worth. And that urgent need to avoid losing the worth you have so painstakingly gathered. So that you can finally feel good enough and worthy of a good life. But what if that whole assumption is wrong? Because if it is, then everything built on top of it, however well intentioned, is solving the wrong problem. Think of it this way. If I had a headache and someone gave me a cast for my arm, the most expertly fitted, clinically approved, works guaranteed every time arm cast in the world, it would not help. Not because the cast is bad, but because the problem is not my arm. And that is exactly what has been happening for so many people who have tried everything and are still struggling. The tools are not bad. The advice and the approaches are not wrong. They are just not aimed at the right place. You see, here is what I believe. And here is what the evidence supports. Worth is not something you build. It is not something you earn. It is not something broken inside of you that needs to be repaired. Your fundamental sense that you matter, that you are enough, that you belong here, is your natural state. It is what you were born with. And if you have ever spent time with a baby or a very young child, you have seen it. They do not question whether they deserve to take up space. They do not edit themselves for fear of disapproval. They don't feel the constant urge to achieve, perform, and prove themselves. They simply exist fully with all the worth in the world. They are worth, personified literally. And that inherent, unconditional inner worth did not disappear in you, or me, or any of us. It just got covered up by experiences and past trauma, by the things people said or didn't say, by environments that taught you that love had conditions attached to it, by a world that measured your value in what you produced, how you performed, how capable you appeared to others, and by a society that rewards success, achievement, and perfection. And here is the part that changes everything. That conditioning, that covering over of your true worth happened at multiple levels simultaneously. It happened in your thinking, the stories you repeat about who you are and what you deserve based on what your parents, your peers, and society told you who you ought to be. It happened in your beliefs, the deep unconscious convictions about whether you are truly lovable, truly capable, truly enough. It happened in your emotions, the stored feelings of shame and guilt, not being enough, that live in the body and fire along before the rational mind has a chance to intervene. It happened in the imprint of past experiences, the specific moments that taught you something about your worth that simply was not true. And it happened at the level of your energy, the part of you that most conventional approaches do not reach at all. So it's 5 levels, and most self-worth tools, even the very best ones, reach 1, maybe 2. That is why you have worked on your thinking and the feeling has not changed. That is why you have processed the past in therapy and still get triggered the same way. That is why the affirmations make complete sense and yet the body and heart simply do not believe them. You were not failing. The approach was, because it was only reaching part of you. And you know, this reframe changes everything. If the problem is that something is buried, not broken, then the work is fundamentally different. Think about it. It means that you are not building from nothing. You are uncovering what is already there. You are not fixing yourself. You are remembering that you are already whole and enough. You are not trying to become someone new. You are finding your way back to someone real. And you are not repairing what's broken. You are releasing what was never yours to carry. And that shift from fixing to returning is the difference between pushing against yourself and working with yourself. And in my experience, it is the difference between the work feeling like a battle and the work becoming eventually a way back to your true, authentic, infinitely worthy self. If what I have shared today resonates, if something in you already knows this is true, I invite you to keep exploring this with me. This channel exists to help you return to the happiness, the worth, and the sense of abundance that were always yours. Not by trying harder, but by going deeper to all 5 levels. And if you are new here, please subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you would like a first step, I have put a link below for my free Healthy Self-Love Starter Kit, which is a gentle, practical place to begin. So thank you so much for being here today, and I will see you in the next video.